you on the panel, Don. Thank you very much, Jimmy. Tell me something. If I missed something on from your description or bio data, tell me how is the business in the last 4 or 5 months for you? What's happening in the business?
Yeah, so I'll give you guys kind of a brief breakdown of where we've come from as well. So our business was mostly not focused online until this year. We started out actually selling cookie dough online. When my wife and I quit our jobs back in 2017, we sold cookie dough online. And it was a really, really small amount, and we would do pop-up shops. And it was like the most small businessy way to start doing something like this. If you fast forward to this year, we had 8 scoop shops open across 3 different states. And we were really on our way to doing retail. But it didn't feel right, and it didn't necessarily feel like where we should be going with our company. And so in March, we actually were forced to shut most of those shops down, and we had wanted to try going back online for a long time. We had been working on it, but it was at the time right before COVID affected the United States in the way that it did. We were probably only doing 10% of our revenue online. The rest of it was in our scoop shops or through franchising or something else. And after COVID, so now we actually do about 60% of our revenue online. So these last 4 or 5 months have been a complete flip for us. It's crazy to think that people would want to buy cookie dough that is safe to eat or bake over the internet, but apparently that is where they want to buy it as opposed to coming into your store. So this last 4 or 5 months have really been a learning experience for us, especially just as we've seen, the power of I guess, e-commerce and the power of being able to reach so many people. For a long time, we'd had a really large social media following, and we hadn't really utilized it at all. It's crazy how, you can have like 45,000 followers and they don't buy anything from you. They just are there and they like the pictures of the cookie dough that you post. And so this year, seriously, has been a huge learning experience for us and our company in how you can pivot and completely change your business model, but not change, who you really are. Because at the end of the day, we're really just a cookie dough company. We like making our products. That's how we got started. And we liked the idea of, building the brand that we built. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you sell it as long as somebody wants to buy. And as long as they're having a really good experience. So that's kind of how the last 4 or 5 months have been for us. It's been a whirlwind. And obviously that comes with a lot of logistical challenges too. But we tackle those day by day.
So how are the numbers for you, Jimmy, last 5 months and now?
So
20%, 30%, what are the numbers?
Yeah, I guess so ballpark, just to give you guys an idea, these are 2 really cool comparative numbers. So we were averaging about 10 orders a day back in February and early March. And now we average about 150 orders a day. So the change over that period of time has just been incredible to see. And it actually happens mostly almost overnight. And I would encourage any of you, if I know you guys all probably sell online. I went to all your websites, but one of those things I would encourage anyone listening to this to do is to lean in when things get really hard or they're scary, because for us, we were at a point where we were very afraid. We had to shut all of our stores down. And I have a friend of mine, Chandler Welling, who runs a media company here in Nashville, who convinced me to spend $300 a day on Facebook ads. And that was it. He said, you have to spend $300 a day or you're not really doing anything. Spend $300 a day and you'll see what happens. And the difference in our sales literally from March 12th to March 16th were just us spending $300 a day and leaning in on the content we had already built on social media. If you have a really clean brand on social media and even just a small amount of followers, leaning in on ads can really be effective, especially when you're in that small area, because in reality, you should have been doing it the whole time. So if you haven't been doing it, you've been building a brand and not monetizing it. So you can get to a place so quickly where you start seeing this revenue that doesn't even it's nothing you would have imagined, right? So for us, 15 times larger online than it had been previously in just a week. And then obviously it leveled off, and we've had a lot of challenges and struggles since then. And it's been hard to keep up with it. It's been really hard to learn to change how we do things. But at the same time, it was that simply the initial decision to say like, well, we might as well try this. This could change, who we are and how we do things, and that's what we've wanted to do. I think that's the hardest part for a lot of entrepreneurs. It was for me, because for a long time you think like the business model I have chosen, that is the one that should be correct, and you really should get out of your own way and try new things when things aren't working. I've constantly told, I think I just tell it to myself mostly, but I will tell like friends, when they're asking me for advice, which I don't know if that's very often, but I feel like business should be something where it will always be a struggle. You'll always constantly be at some sort of struggle point, but it shouldn't feel hard. It should feel like you're getting somewhere. So even when you're climbing a mountain, or you're rock climbing, you're doing something like that, it's gonna be extremely difficult to get up the cliff, but you are slowly making your way up the cliff. When we were opening more stores, especially on store like 6, 7, 8, it did not feel right. Today we only have 6 stores open. We closed 2 of them during COVID, and then of the 6 remaining, we only own 3 of them. The other 3 are franchised. And I don't plan on opening any more stores. Dawn, I was actually opening a store in Atlanta before all of this, so I would have loved to partner with you, but that's no longer happening. But yeah, so it's just been weird, right? Like you get to a place where your business completely changes, and sometimes it's an external factor, like this virus, but apparently that is what we needed. We needed some adversity to kick us in the teeth and to put us on the right course moving forward. Because I don't know if we would have done it without all of that.
You know what? You are absolutely right, Jimmy. I think a great story. Great story. You're pulling it off very well. For a lot of people, COVID has become a blessing in disguise. There has been an opportunity. There's always an opportunity in every adversity. That's what they say. And that's exactly what happened with you. One very interesting thing you said is it's very important to invest back in business. Very important. You started investing $300 business every goddamn day. That's again great. Thank you so much for lovely story. Lovely. You advise definitely work with a lot of people. Kerry,